Coming up on WFT Midday, a suspected terrorist attack in Munich leaves dozens injured. What authorities know at this hour.
Plus, the Trump administration planning talks to end the war in Ukraine. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth speaking with NATO leaders today.
And the fugitive gone viral for taunting local officials, still on the run. WFT Midday starts right now.
You're watching WUFT Midday.
Two dozen people were hurt in Munich, Germany when a car drove into a group of protesters today. This is WUFT Midday. I'm Carle.
And I'm Maria Avlontis. WUFT's Nicole Scura joins us live in the studio to tell us what officials have released about this international story making headlines this midday.
Ciara and Maria, city officials report 28 wounded, some with serious injuries. The driver, identified as a 24-year-old man of Afghanistan nationality, has been detained over the suspected terrorist attack. Authorities say he is known to local officials connected to drug and theft incidents. Police fired a shot at the vehicle as the man was being arrested. An investigation is underway into whether it was not intentional. Police presence was already heavy in Munich as the city prepares to host the Munich Security Conference of World Leaders, including Vice President J.D. Vance, beginning tomorrow. Live in the studio, Nicole Scura, WUFT News.
As President Trump continues to reshape the federal government at lightning speed, his administration is also taking shape. After getting his controversial pick for Director of National Intelligence confirmed in the Senate Wednesday, it appears the president's choice for Health Secretary will also be confirmed later today. And after several setbacks in the courts, the Trump administration has now picked up a key win in court. NBC's Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest.
And I follow the courts. I have to follow
the Trump administration scoring a victory out of a litany of legal challenges as a judge ruled the federal worker buyout program can move forward. The White House saying roughly 75,000 federal employees took the offer to resign and be paid through September before the deadline closed. A key piece of the plans to dramatically downsize government.
The spigot is getting ready to be turned off.
Lawmakers sparring in a fiery hearing about the work of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are recklessly and illegally dismantling the federal government, shuttering federal agencies, firing federal workers.
We were given a massive mandate to carry out what he's been doing.
Also on Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats held the floor late into the night, speaking against Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whose confirmation vote for Secretary of Health and Human Services is set for today.
This body is being asked to confirm a man who has dedicated the better part of his career to attacking science.
Kennedy is on track for confirmation in the Republican-controlled Senate, despite concerns over controversial positions, including a refusal to acknowledge the scientific consensus that vaccines do not cause autism. Another contentious pick.
I, Tulsi Gabbard, do solemnly swear.
Tulsi Gabbard, now sworn in as Director of National Intelligence. Only Republican Senator Mitch McConnell joined Democrats in opposing her over concerns she made sympathetic comments about Russia. President Trump rounding out his cabinet as he presses ahead with his agenda. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The Trump administration signaled that it is planning face-to-face talks with Russia on ending the Ukraine war without involving them, and insisted that Kyiv should not join NATO. This as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, while at the NATO meeting in Brussels, denied accusation from allies that the U.S. is betraying Ukraine. Hegseth provided remarks earlier, stating that Trump administration is taking steps toward peace.
There's one man in the world capable of convening the parties together to bring peace, and that's President Donald Trump, which he demonstrated yesterday in speaking to both Vladimir Putin and Zelensky, and bringing about, we believe, a durable, lasting peace on the continent.
Hegseth not making a forceful statement in support of Ukraine, instead saying Ukraine needs to abandon its goal of recovering all the territory it has lost to Russia since 2014. Also to abandon its dream of NATO membership as part of any peace negotiation. Gainesville residents may have to break out their umbrellas over the next several days, a contrast to the recent weather. With storms incoming, WUFT's Jadyn Bottini now joins us with the weather forecast.
That's right, we're tracking this storm as it's sitting over the Panhandle right now. They're experiencing a lot of thunderstorms, and we're going to continue to track it as it makes its way towards us. Right now on campus, those clouds are rolling in 79 degrees. A little bit breezy, winds at 10 miles per hour. Temperatures 80 in Gainesville, 81 in Ocala, 80 in Palatka. Here's our front right now, again, sitting over the Panhandle, lots of rain in southern Georgia and Tallahassee, and it will head towards us this afternoon. We can expect lots of rain around 7 and 9 p.m., a 70% chance of rain in our area. Coming up, we're taking a look at today's rainy afternoon, a stormy weekend this Sunday, and cooler temperatures into next week.
Speaking to the World Government Summit in Dubai, Elon Musk said that the U.S. needs to delete entire agencies from the federal government. Musk appeared on a voice call addressing a wide range of policy stances by the Trump administration, including less bureaucracy and a more isolated approach to foreign policy.
We do need to delete entire agencies as opposed to leave part of them behind. And I think we should in general, leave other countries to their own business. And basically, America should mind its own business, rather than push for regime change all over the place.
The first state execution of the year is scheduled for tonight at 6. 64-year-old James Ford was convicted of murdering Gregory and Kimberly Maloney down in the Fort Myers area in 1997. The murders took place in front of their daughter, 22-month-old Miranda Mallory. Besides the death penalty, Ford was also convicted of sexual battery with a firearm and child abuse. It's still unclear why these killings happened. Governor Ron DeSantis signed the death warrant for Ford in January of this year.
The back and forth between the Alachua County Sheriff's Office and a wanted Gainesville woman is starting to go viral. She taunted deputies on social media, telling them to find her. On Tuesday, ACSO asked for information on the whereabouts of 27-year-old Quantaria Richardson. Then, Wednesday morning, the agency shared a screenshot of Richardson's post with part of the caption reading, "Do your job." The office responded to her post with one of their own, saying they want to take her to the best bed and breakfast in town, implying it's the Alachua County Jail, and the posts are now going viral. She's wanted in connection to an aggravated battery case she was charged with last year. Deputies are asking anyone with information about Richardson to contact Crime Stoppers.
Gainesville's Oaks Mall is facing potential foreclosure due to the increasing popularity of online shopping and an unpaid loan amount exceeding $78 million. WUFT's Carolina Tortorelli spoke to shoppers who say they would be sad if the mall closed.
Randall and Mary Geiger have a special day every Wednesday. Their place of choice? Oaks Mall. However, the brick-and-mortar landscape they know is changing.
We always notice the stores that are closing as we come every week, and it seems like more and more are closing up.
According to the United States Census Bureau, e-commerce sales have steadily increased for over a decade, hitting a record high of $1.12 trillion in 2023, a 330% increase from the $260.4 billion in 2013. Randall adapted to online shopping, though he still enjoys the in-person experience.
We are online shoppers, yes, but I like the tactile feel of things, so you go into the store and you look it over, you try it on, buy it, don't buy it.
This shift towards online shopping has been affecting many brick-and-mortar businesses that have been struggling to stay afloat.
It'd be a shame if they shut them all down. It's like a cornerstone, basically, of this whole area here.
A move that would change their weekly date plans.
That was Carolina Tortorelli reporting. If the court rules in the bank's favor and Oaks Mall does not pay the initial loan plus additional legal costs, it'll be subject to foreclosure. Now, let's take a look at our traffic cams over Paynes Prairie this morning. Traffic appears to be moving smoothly, and drivers should be in the clear for traffic in this area. With overcast skies above, let's take another look at the weather with WUFT's Jadyn Bottini.
That's right, our skies are looking pretty cloudy right now, and they will continue to get cloudier as we head into this afternoon. We're tracking this storm as it's over the Panhandle. Lots of thunderstorms in this area right now. Our temperature is 80 in Gainesville, 81 in Ocala, 80 in Palatka. We will be warming up before these storms approach us. And yesterday we hit a record high for February 12th, meeting the high in 2019 at 86 degrees. It's been a pretty warm February. Looking at campus right now, those clouds are rolling in from this front, 79 degrees. Taking a look at our view from the west, where this front is coming from, those clouds are pushing and making its way towards us, and we will experience the effects of this front later. This afternoon, high temperature 83 in Gainesville, 86 in Ocala, 84 in Palatka. Here is that front sitting over the Panhandle. Lots of rain in southern Georgia and Tallahassee. It will push towards us this afternoon. And the risk of this storm right now in this green area is a marginal risk. They can experience storms winds up to 60 miles per hour this afternoon. Looking at the future cast, Thursday at 7 p.m. is when we're expecting our rain, possibility for some isolated showers and thunderstorms. As we head into Friday midnight, it's pretty clear and will continue to clear up for tomorrow morning. Looking at our Friday morning lows, 57 in Gainesville, 60 in Ocala, 58 in Palatka, and our highs tomorrow not quite getting as warm as we've seen the past couple of days. 80 in Ocala, 80 in Palatka, and 76 in Gainesville. It'll be a slight cool down for tomorrow, but we'll be warming up again on Saturday. And our next front will be approaching this weekend. Here it is Saturday at 7 p.m. Lots of rain over Louisiana. It's going to make its way towards Florida, kind of in the same exact spot as our front is today. And we'll be experiencing again some isolated showers and thunderstorms on Sunday afternoon, clearing up into next week. Taking a look at this weekend's forecast, high of 85 on Saturday. Sunday is when we're expecting those showers and thunderstorms from our second front as it pushes through. Looking at the 7-day, tomorrow for Valentine's Day, not even getting up to 70 degrees, a little bit of a cool down. Saturday though, back into our high temperatures. Sunday is when we're going to experience those isolated showers and thunderstorms, cooling down, high of 63 on Monday and rain on Wednesday.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner, but that may leave some lovebirds vulnerable to scams. With the growing popularity of online dating, law enforcement warns about a potential spike in scams during the holiday. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at a few simple steps you can take to protect yourself from falling victim to a romance scam.
Online dating is now the most popular way people meet romantic partners, according to a recent Stanford study. But finding love on the internet can open the door to romance scams. It's where someone sets up a fake profile, gains the victim's trust, and then manipulates them into sending money.
The catfishers always give you instructions how to send them the money.
Jane Mason is a retired FBI agent. She now works with victims and says these types of scams are particularly crushing.
You've lost, your some self-pride, your respect. Maybe you were in love and now you don't have that love relationship anymore. And it's very difficult between your actual loss and then your personal loss.
Nearly 65,000 people reported romance scams in 2023, according to the Federal Trade Commission, with total losses amounting to $1.14 billion. So how can you protect yourself?
Fraud is about trust.
Christopher Delzato works in the financial crime section of the FBI. He says be aware if the person wants to leave the dating app to communicate directly, if the person doesn't want to meet in person. Delzato also says these crimes are particularly hard to prosecute because these scammers are often overseas.
Whether it be through our 55 field offices domestically or our reach internationally and all the private sector partnerships and law enforcement contacts we have globally, we try to connect the dots.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
If you or someone you know thinks they have been victim, you can report it to the FBI by going to ic3.gov.
The CDC says that United States flu cases have skyrocketed to numbers we haven't experienced in the last 15 years. The center says 43 states have reported high or very high flu cases last week, with a majority of them coming out of the South, including Florida. The number of doctor visits for flu or flu-like symptoms was higher than any winter flu season since 2009. It's gotten so extreme that some schools have had to shut down in some states like Texas. And some experts say this influenza spike may have a clear causation.
We're seeing much fewer people getting this season's flu vaccine. We're actually seeing them come in and stay in the hospital longer. And that's very worrisome.
Cleveland Clinic doctors recommend some safety tips to prevent the spread of flu, like washing your hands, not touching the eyes, mouth, or nose, and wearing masks when you're unable to avoid people who are sick.
Joann's Fabric is closing 500 stores, including the one in Ocala. as the company navigates the bankruptcy process. This recent closure is leaving 300 stores open nationwide. Joann filed for bankruptcy last month for the second time in a year. It first filed for Chapter 11 in March 2024, but was able to keep the company afloat after becoming a private company. The retailer blames its newest filing on severe and unexpected inventory problems, an issue that appears to be plaguing many retailers recently. Now let's head over to our Noticias partners for a look at today's top stories for our Spanish language audience.
Hola, yo soy Chapman con tus noticias en 90 segundos. Se espera que los legisladores de Florida realicen un voto final hoy sobre una nueva legislación de inmigración. Si se aprueba, impactaría a miles de inmigrantes indocumentados. La propuesta republicana criminaliza la entrada ilegal a la Florida y corta matrícula estatal para inmigrantes indocumentados. También asigna $250 millones a fuerzas de seguridad para que se cumpla la ley federal de inmigración. Por la otra parte, los demócratas planean presentar enmiendas de última hora. La plataforma X acordó en pagar la liquidación de $10 millones al presidente Trump. Trump demanda a la plataforma X, antes conocida como Twitter, y su entonces director ejecutivo Jack Dorsey. Trump demandó por la desactivación de su cuenta tras los disturbios ocasionados por sus seguidores el 6 de enero del 2021 en el Capitolio de los Estados Unidos. Trump reclama que esto es una violación a su derecho de libertad de expresión y demanda una liquidación de $10 millones para parte de X, a lo cual ya se llegó a un acuerdo. Hamas declara que hoy liberará a otros 3 rehenes israelíes como estaba previsto. En un intento para negociar la disputa sobre el alto al fuego en Gaza, Hamas había amenazado con retrasar la próxima liberación de cautivos, acusando a Israel de incumplir su obligación de permitir la entrada a tiendas y refugios, entre otras supuestas violaciones de esta tregua. Los funcionarios israelíes no confirmaron que Israel vaya a cumplir las condiciones del alto al fuego si Hamas libera a los rehenes como está previsto. Esas fueron tus noticias en 90 segundos. Gracias por sintonizarnos.
Now let's get over to WFT First at 5 anchor Nick Diaz with a look at what's coming up on First at 5 on Channel 5.
Looking ahead to First at 5, an armed robbery, affordable housing, and senior prom. An update on the armed robbery that occurred just outside of campus yesterday afternoon. Florida residents are struggling to find affordable housing. Why that's the case despite stabilizing housing prices. And a look in at how Valentine's Day came early for senior citizens of Alachua County. All this and more coming up at First at 5.
Before we go, one last check on the weather.
Tomorrow for Valentine's Day, not even up to 70 degrees, a bit of a cool down, but we're warming back up on Saturday. Sunday, we're expecting a lot of rain from that second front pushing through, cooling down, high of 63 on Monday, and expecting some more rain on Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us for WFT Midday. We're back here tomorrow for another edition.
We will see you later for First at 5 on Channel 5. Have a great afternoon.